Hi, Bother Brigade. Here's what's bothering me today. Maybe some of you have heard, or maybe you haven't, about the now officially record setting, devastating floods that have been happening in Pakistan. In fact, the flooding is so severe that it has created a 100-kilometer wide inland lake. This comes from a CNN article, and I will link it down below. And there's even more images, like satellite images, that you can see showing the before and after and devastation. But right here, right now, I want to show you the most striking thing. First up is August of 2021. And then this is August of 2022. Like, I can't even put to words how horrifying it is that there is now a 100-kilometer temporary lake in Pakistan. Videos of the floods are absolutely horrifying to watch. It's been termed a monsoon on steroids. It's already killed over 1,162 people. It's injured at least 3,500 people and affected 33 million since mid-June. As of recording, the situation has actually gotten worse. 1,350 people have been killed, over 50 million people have been displaced, 900,000 livestock are dead, 1 million houses have just been washed away, over 40 reservoirs have been breached, over 220 bridges have collapsed, 90% of agricultural crops have been damaged, and there has been an estimated $10 billion loss to the economy. Oh, and on top of all of that, roughly a third of Pakistan is underwater right now because of this flooding. Imagine wherever you may live, right? The United States, Canada, Britain, Australia. Imagine a third of your country and like nearly 50% of your population affected and displaced by massive and severe flooding. It's kind of incomprehensible, and yet unfortunately, this is the new normal that Pakistan and other countries can look forward to because of climate change. So of course, now with this record-setting crisis, everyone in Pakistan, and of course the expatriate community and Pakistani refugees and immigrants from around the world, communities left, right, and center from everywhere, right? Especially, and of course, the former heirs of the British Empire. The diaspora has really been trying to come together to send what aid they can. And you want to know how much the official government of Canada decided to send to Pakistan? $5 million. And that's kind of weird when I think that this is to try and save people's lives and we can only manage a paltry $5 million. Whereas we have no problem sending hundreds of millions in weaponry and, ammunition and, of course, some first aid, sure, to help Ukrainians fighting against Russians. So we got plenty of money for war, not really enough money to save starving, desperate people who've been displaced by record flooding that has now created a new massive temporary lake in their country, and it's displaced so many people and put a third of the country underwater. Yeah, sure, okay, 5 million is really gonna help. But admittedly, something is better than nothing, which is why it's now time to shill for a few charities. So, also in the description down below, you will see a few charities that I think are worth your while, that are actively doing good work in Pakistan to try and help people. I think one of them is the Red Crescent Society of Pakistan, so they're providing a lot of first aid and helping shelter and blankets and stuff like that. There's also Humanity and Inclusion, and their whole thing is to also do disability advocacy, and they specifically try and help those who are less fortunate and those who are disabled first and foremost. So that's actually a really good thing to see, especially in a country like Pakistan. Then I think there's also the International Rescue Committee, and the UNHCR for good measure. So we're talking first aid, food, actually helping people and families. So whatever feels most appropriate for you, take your pick. But right now, Pakistan is struggling, and through no fault of their own. Pakistan right now is suffering in an unprecedented way. And unfortunately, it's because of climate change, which when you look at their net contributions are a tiny fraction. It is capitalism and also the West writ large that did this, that set the stage for this crisis to unfold in Pakistan. And meanwhile, as we're talking about this, there's still record heat waves going on in California that aren't making the news. Same with water shortages there. The rivers of Europe are still very much drought stricken. So it's all these imbalances everywhere, all for the sake of money and profit and pleasing shareholders. And unfortunately now, there is a massive new lake in the middle of Pakistan, and a third of the country is underwater. For what? For money? For profit? And no one in Pakistan got any say in that. And the help that the West, which helped cause this problem, by the way, the official help that they are sending is a paltry amount. In fact, it's insulting, and that's what's bothering me today.